absolute certainty on how you go from hello to yes on what you're looking for.
Sean is a master sharing the formula with you. It's about making sure that we learn.
I went from $100,000 in debt from law school to having no money and starting my own law firm on my credit card to selling it 4 years later.
Sean and I, we co-created massive victories in 2 winnable jury trials, which are recognized nationally now as top 100 jury verdicts.
To be even on the same track with you, who I respect and admire and love with all my heart.
Never again submit. You're not better and you're not less than any human on earth.
When you shared with us about the Unblinded process and the mastery sales training, I just went, wow.
Sean will gain proximity to most influential and powerful people. He will find out how he can grow their business, how he can help them personally. But the third thing that he does is the most important. Sean serves without an expectation of getting anything in return.
You have very, very high-performing colleagues.
22 years ago, you transformed my life as you did all these people's lives over the course of time. And I couldn't be more grateful. Let's hear it from Tony Robbins.
I don't see him as a lawyer, and I don't see him as a blind person. Someone who has subjugated his ego, who has taught me what serving really looks like.
You have this incredible ability to just have unconditional love for everyone, and that is just an incredible gift.
The moment you have been waiting for.
The American Blind Association is the first new face and voice of that association since Helen Keller.
Formula for formulas, which is exactly what I've learned from Sean. It's a language-based predictable model. We will have over 300 new sales meetings this month.
This superpower in the world that is attainable for you is the ability to influence people. If you believe, say yes. If you believe that, say yes. Do you think that worked? World and all those beautiful things, yes. Why should somebody say yes to you? Gina, we're going to unpack that because that affects your money, time, and magic. Who do we have here today?
Let's do it. We have Anne Thornley Brown with us today, Sean, from Toronto, Canada. This cancer survivor, originally from Jamaica, master at supporting executives and companies in their mastery through corporate retreats and virtual facilitation. She's also the president of Training Oasis, and she's also a former actress in a wide range of films and commercials. Please, everyone, join me in welcoming Anne Thornley Brown to the world.
Thank you. How are you, Anne?
Thank you for such a warm welcome.
Yeah, amazing. And what's your fun fact, Anne?
My fun fact is I love horse riding. I love it with a passion.
Very good. Where do you like to ride horses?
Well, I live in Stouffville, Ontario. So there is an equestrian facility not too far down the road, about 5 minutes. And whenever I do retreats for clients, if there's horse riding, you better believe I'm up extra early in the morning and I am cantering along the beach.
Anne is cantering down the beach. And by the way, what was your favorite space in acting? What'd you love about acting?
Oh, by the way, I'm not a former actress. I'm still acting. And you would have seen me on Self-Made, inspired by the life of Madam C.J. Walker. I worked with Octavia Spencer and Blair Underwood.
That is a beautiful thing, Anne, and welcome. Cantering, acting, corporate retreating, changing the world. Anne is with us, Gina. Who else do we have?
From San Antonio, Texas, he creates unique ways for companies to leave powerful impressions and unique impressions on their customers through distinctive images. His company that he created, Steve Benson, is here with us today. Please, everyone, join me in welcoming Steve to the Real Raw.
Steve, happy Why Wednesday, and please, what is your fun fact?
I'm constantly finding myself in a doghouse.
Nice. And why is that, Steve?
Because I have 4 dogs sitting all around me at this very moment.
That is amazing. What type of dogs do you have?
They're all rescue. 2 of them are border collies. One's a husky and one is a lab. They're all mixed. None of them are purebred. The smallest one is about 65 pounds. The biggest one's about 75.
Well, love the love of animals. Thank you for being here, my friend, on this Why Wednesday, and welcome. Are you in the great state of Texas right now?
I am. I am sitting here in San Antonio in 80-degree weather.
Okay. You're not in the Alamo, are you?
Not even close. No, just.
Have you ever visited the Alamo, Steve?
Actually, for a person who lives in San Antonio, I am an exception to the rule. I have visited it.
That's beautiful.
It's usually a place reserved for tourists, but believe it or not, a few of us local people actually have gotten down there. Though I will confess, usually it's when family are visiting and I got to take them somewhere.
100%. Have you spent much time like on the Riverwalk itself, Steve? Like, do you have a favorite place on the Riverwalk?
I do. The original Mexican restaurant, and that is its title, is absolutely my go-to place on the Riverwalk. It's always fun down there. It gets this time of year, it's absolutely gorgeous with the lights, the boats that are taking tourists back and forth. We have a boat parade every time around this time of year. It's just really, really pretty down there, and it's fun. If you haven't visited, you need to put it on your bucket list.
Awesome. Well, appreciate you, brother. Thank you for being here. You ready to have some fun today?
Sure. Let's do this.
Sounds great. Let's do the things. Gina, we got Steve, we got Ann. Who do we have as judges?
Hailing from Brooklyn, New York, this open-minded, growth-minded leader, expertise in digital marketing is with us today. Max Berlin, everyone. Please welcome Max to the Real Raw.
Max, happy Why Wednesday to you.
Thank you, likewise.
Yeah, and what's your fun fact, Max?
So, well, first I want to comment. I think I see some hockey memorabilia behind you. Huge hockey fan. Big Rangers fan out here my entire life. But a fun fact is, so I too have 2 rescue dogs. One is 5, one is a year and a half. One I rescued in LA, the other one I rescued out here. And I actually work with a rescue organization called Turkish Miracles, to where once or twice a year I fly to Turkey and help rescue dogs and bring them back here to find homes in the U.S.
Very cool, Max. Love it.
Very cool.
And quick fun fact, yes, I am present to the reality that the 1980 Miracle on Ice team was probably the greatest sports upset in the history of organized team sports and one of the most profoundly impactful athletic events ever. And I think it actually changed the course of human history. So I'm deeply honored, love the Miracle on Ice team. I had the privilege of talking to Mike Ruzioni about a year ago about a whole bunch of things, just a one-on-one conversation. And yes, I am inspired, cause massive shift, I think, in literally the course of the relationships between the Soviet and the U.S., changed the American depression collectively, I think, coming in the 1970s. So these are all some things present for me. Thank you for acknowledging it, though, Max.
Amazing, yeah. I think
Awesome.
it definitely reverberated through everybody, seeing what a bunch of college kids can do against, this well-oiled machine of insane athletes.
Yeah, I agree, brother. I often say, when I try to contextualize it for people who didn't live it and may not have a context for it, I say, it would be like the Michael Jordan led dream team, right? Because you have to think of where the rest of the world was in basketball at that time, because a lot of the rest of the world has advanced a lot in the last 20 years in basketball. The Michael Jordan-led Dream Team against a Chinese national all-star team of college basketball players, beating the Jordan Dream Team. If the Jordan Dream Team didn't play in the NBA, but they played together every day around the world playing against people and were a massively cohesive team. The odds would have been 100,000 to 1. So, appreciate that, brother, and welcome to the Real Raw.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. G Money.
And quick fun fact, my rescue dog is squeaking in the background, so I apologize for the noises, but she's present here with me all the time. Next, from West Palm Beach, Florida, Thalia Ereño is passionate about her real estate world, her real estate business, and the past 4 years in Southern Florida, she's been crushing it. She's a Florida Atlantic grad, a masterful at creating video content for her business. Sean, please everyone join me in welcoming Thalia to the Real Raw.
Thank you.
FAU alum are in the house. Thalia, how are you?
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's Talia.
Talia, I'm sorry, Talia. And
It's okay.
What is your fun fact, Talia?
My fun fact is I love to travel and have new experiences and see new things and different cultures. And one of my favorite places that I've been is Santorini, Greece. It's beautiful and the most amazing place I've ever been, but I love to travel.
Talia, what do you love most about Santorini, Greece?
The views, the food, the people, literally everything.
Amazing.
The most insane views you'll ever see.
Awesome. Well, Talia, thank you for being here. And by the way, what's the biggest yes? Like if you get a yes from like anything, anyone about, from anyone about anything, what would that yes be?
The yes of people wanting to use me to help them find a home and find a place that is special to them is really important and means a lot. So when I get that yes, and they, trust me and confide in me about, their wants and needs and something, such a big decision, that's really big for me.
Awesome. Well, thanks for being here today. We're going to unpack a little bit more about how we get those yeses. So thank you, Talia.
Thank you.
G Money.
Hailing from the Garden State, everyone. He started DJing for Tony Robbins in 1998 and is also a business consultant for 7 Stage Advisors. He's looking for more growth. He has a new wife. Congratulations. Who he wants to do a world cruise with. That is awesome. And traveling between Tony Robbins and 7 Stages consultant. Please join me in welcoming Mark Chin to the Real Raw.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me.
Mark, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you very much for having me.
And where in the world are you today? Are you in Jersey?
No, I'm not in Jersey right now. Right now, I'm in Kissimmee, Florida for the holidays. I spending some time with my family down here.
Awesome, Mark. And what is your fun fact, my friend?
My fun fact is I'm also an auxiliary police officer for the NYPD, and I've been involved with them for over 25 years.
Wow. And 9/11, were you in the city for that?
No, thank goodness I was not in the city on 9/11. I came home on 9/12. I was actually doing an event for the Robbins organization on 9/11. And I was supposed to come back home on 9/11, but obviously I was unable to travel. And then I got home and I was able to serve, go down there and help out. It was I do know a lot of people that have been memorialized at the site, which is the people that were memorialized there. They really gave all in that day, in that moment.
The ultimate sacrifice, for people. So Mark, thank you for that. By the way, do you know Cello Russo?
Oh yeah, Cello and I work together on the music team for Tony.
That is awesome. I literally was on the phone with Cello 2 hours ago.
Yeah, cool, very cool. Yeah, I was on the phone with him probably maybe 1.5 hours ago.
Text Cello
right after you.
Text Cello while we're on this and tell him to come by and say hello. So, or I'll let him know. It's super fun, Mark. So, Mark, thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure.
Thank you. G Money.
Next up, from Coral Gables, Florida, this man sold over 1,000 homes throughout his career, has helped hundreds of owners buy and achieve their real estate goals. Please, everyone join me in welcoming Albert Babani to the Real Raw.
Albert, how are you?
I'm great. How you doing? Glad to be here.
Well, great to have you here. And what's your fun fact, please, Albert?
Let's see. Fun fact. So, you know what? Like Ann, a couple of years ago, I decided to follow a lifelong passion of getting into acting. And as a hobby, I kind of delved in and just took that leap of faith. And you could find me on commercials every once in a while. Or I think a couple seasons ago, I was on an episode, Nat Geo of When Sharks Attack. I played Captain Salvador.
Who did you play?
Captain Salvador. I was attacked by a shark.
That is unbelievable. I love When Sharks Attack. I'm a huge Discovery Channel Shark Week fan. We have to rewatch that. That is super cool. And fun fact, counter fun fact, is I have homes in Long Beach Island, New Jersey, and surfed 81 days this year before a couple of interesting things happened. Got bumped by a shark this year. And that is the site of the original Jaws shark attack, which is also a Shark Week episode, talking about 1916 shark attacks that inspired Peter Benchley to write Jaws that happened a mile from my home.
Exciting.
Yeah, so like from one Shark Week dude to another. So
there you go.
Thank you for being here.
All right.
G Money.
Next up, the one and only Stephanie Ann Behan. Sean, would you please introduce her?
Yes, she has been in those waters. She has surfed those waters. Started selling crafts on her front lawn as an 8-year-old, progressed to being a 7-figure earner in the space of network marketing, became the #1 business broker in the state of Nevada at the ripe old age of 24. Youngest person ever, first woman ever. Now, she's like a co-host, The Real Raw, surfs, speaks on stages around the world, does all the things. The one, the only, as Gina Ricci said, Stephanie Ann Behan.
Well, Sean Callaghy, since Albert is from Coral Gables, I thought it'd be a fun fact, to share a fun fact about the time that you and I broke into a building in Coral Gables and went knocking on random doors.
Sure, please do tell. Please do tell.
So Albert, my grandparent, I grew up going to Coral Gables. My grandparents lived in a high-rise building in Coral Gables, so we were in Miami not that long ago for an event. I said, I'd really like to just go by and see their building. And so someone was going going into the building. So I'm making a mad dash to follow them into the building. We're skating around the front door people to then get into the elevators. And I don't really know what apartment number it is. My dad doesn't really remember what apartment number it is. He just remembers the floor. So we started knocking on every single door on the floor, having random people answering doors. And Sean he's Sean's okay, we got this. I'll knock on the door. And then he knocks on the door and then he's hiding behind me and it makes me stand in front while all these random people are.
I was definitely not hiding behind you. That is not integrous influence. I didn't want some nice older woman to think there was some man standing there was going to kidnap her. So I put you as a woman in front of the door. That's what actually happened.
Oh, okay.
Safety.
There you go. Did you get the yes out of them? That's all that matters, right?
We did. We got a yes. And we were invited into the apartment. Were we not?
We were actually invited into the apartment, but it ended up being the wrong apartment. The apartment that ended up being my grandparents was being remodeled and nobody was home. So we didn't get to go into the place.
Yeses were achieved. Integrous process occurred. We made a nice new friend in a building in Coral Gables.
There you go. It was probably down the street from my office.
Yes. Perfect.
Yeah.
So, I can't remember even the way, but yes. It's got 2 lions outside the building. But yes, that's
that's on Biltmore Way. I know where it's at. That's why it's 100 Andalusia.
Yeah. So would you mind going to meet our friend on the 9th floor of the building in Coral Gables? She's a nice older woman.
If I could get the Zoom to follow me there, I'd knock on the door.
That would be perfect. We love it. So excellent job, Stephanie. Appreciate everybody for being here. Now, had a little bit of fun, a little bit of silliness, but let's get to some serious business. The superpower of influence, whether we're present to it or not, is controlling our money, our time, and our magic. It controls our marketing, our selling, our leading, our managing, our recruiting, our fundraising for not-for-profit. And the micro distinctions between people are the micro distinctions that separate Oprah Winfrey from somebody who gets a show and isn't Oprah, or somebody who never gets a show. Somebody that builds a 500-person company or $1 billion company, and somebody who ends up in the 96% of companies that fail within the first decade. That's the game we're playing. That's the process we're talking about. So Stephanie, Gina, first of all, thank you. Stephanie, which way are we going first?
Out for now, everyone.
You know what Steve was saying earlier, Sean, about how much he loves to receive feedback and how open he is to growing. I think Steve is ready to go first.
That sounds wonderful. Steve, my level 5 listening of Stephanie tells me that you were saying something the opposite of that.
Well, it's very hard to distinguish between the two sometimes. So what comes out of your mouth can be your greatest fear, or it could be your most exciting challenge.
Beautiful. I love that. So what we're playing with, Steve, is what's a yes that would matter to you in the world? Stephanie will be the person on the other side of that. It might be an ideal client. It could be a strategic partnership, whatever it is, but we're not pitching, we're not hooking, we're not closing. We're talking about integrous influence, where we open the listening of people, we connect, we add value that will be mutual, and hopefully more value than we take, and we get a yes. So who would you, and it could be, by the way, it doesn't need to be the ultimate yes. We're not rushing. It could just be the next yes, like for a longer meeting conversation. We're really assessing what the judge is the opening of listening, the depth of connection, and whether or not Stephanie, as the listener, is perceiving yourself as congruently unique. So they become like curious and want to learn more. So who would you like Stephanie to be?
Well, Stephanie, your background is in what area again?
Oh, I forgot to mention that I am currently down the street from you, Sean, in Conroe, Texas, or Steve, sorry, in Conroe, Texas right now. I'm doing my rounds. I was in Austin yesterday. Conroe.
Stephanie was #1 business broker in the state of Nevada. She's a speaker, a trainer, a coach, a leader. That is her background.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like my physical background. Where
no, I was actually. I was liking to know a little bit. If you're in Conroe, that's just halfway across the state. That's absolutely no distance at all in Texas, right? Okay. So as a speaker, as an influencer, what do you find is a challenge for you in reaching out to a new audience? What is the thing?
Do you want me to play the role of like the speaker influencer?
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
All right, let's do it. All right. Hey, Steve, it's Stephanie.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
I appreciate this opportunity to have a quick chat with you. I understood from our pre-discussion that you work as an influencer, public speaker.
That is correct.
And I've always been intrigued with people who are really, really good at that. So what do you do that makes that viable for you? How do you prepare yourself for such a role?
You know, Steve, the honest answer is I don't think I have prepared myself. You know, I don't know what your beliefs are, but you know, I feel like it's a role that God prepared me for. You know, it is something that I am very comfortable with, and I don't actually do much preparation. I just let you know, kind of God speak through me and show up how, you know, I'm supposed to show up. So there hasn't been you know, much preparation, and I never met a camera I didn't love, Steve.
Well, I got to say that has probably not been my experiences, because cameras and I seem to be better served when we're both pointing in the same direction, not with one looking at me. But that is pretty interesting. Is it important for you in your role to keep track of people that you encounter, to keep an audience, keep people's interest? Or do you go around speaking to large groups and don't necessarily get to know the individuals?
I would say, speaking more to large groups, I would love to better, be able to connect with people. That's kind of always been like, I can connect better with people, much better one-on-one in group environments. Speaking from stage, I can speak, I can make an impact. But sometimes, I have a challenging time, connecting on a mass level.
So is that something that you've thought about wanting to do better or do more of?
Most definitely.
Okay. Since you've been thinking about it, what kind of ideas have you had?
And I only got about 30 more seconds, Steve. So I'd love to hear, what you have to say, because I don't know that I've had any ideas. I don't really know what to do about the challenge. Quite frankly, I don't really know what to do. So,
well, for a carpenter, every problem can be solved with a hammer or a saw. And in my industry, everything can be solved with a gift. So I find people like gifts, especially if they're well thought out and they're something that has an immediate visceral reaction of the person who's receiving it. Not everybody likes baseball caps or tumblers, but there is something out there that everybody enjoys. And the real secret to what I do for a living is to find out what that something is. Because gift giving
Steve,
is
I gotta run right
very
now,
rewarding.
Yes, I would agree with that. And Steve, I am definitely intrigued. I gotta run right now, but definitely love to have a longer conversation.
I'd love that. That'd be great. I'd like to learn more about what you do and how we could work together on something.
Fantastic.
Steve, great job. Appreciate that. We'll see what the judges have to say in a moment. Anne, who would you like Stephanie to be?
I would like Stephanie to be you, Sean.
Whoa, I like this. This is fun. This is like her greatest dream and worst nightmare all wrapped into one.
100%.
And I would I'd like her to be you, because I understand you're looking for wonderful settings and experiences for corporate immersion for Unblinded.
Whoa, this is lovely and fun.
Right.
Anne,
I
Sean,
even got the whoa down, Anne. I can even model the whoa.
so Sean, please take us in.
Yes. Hello, this is Sean.
Oh, hi, Sean. How are you doing?
I am wonderful, Anne. How are you?
I'm fabulous. I am based in Toronto, and I was speaking with David Rush, and he told me that you are interested in exotic experiences and locations for corporate immersion.
We do take into a lot of consideration the locations for our event. Magic is definitely important to us. That's true. Yes.
Well, that's what I want to talk with you about, because I would like to share with you some information about how to add magic, pizzazz, and fun to your corporate immersions.
Well, let me ask you this, Anne. What is your mission in the world?
Well, my mission in the world is to foster innovation in corporate teams and among entrepreneurs, and ensure that they have fun while they do it.
Fun and magic are definitely core values of ours.
Well, I always say, if it's boring, it's not worth doing. And the reason we call boardrooms is because everybody's bored.
I love that.
I can take people out of the boardroom. Even if it's virtual, we can still do it. And what about you, in terms of your corporate immersion? What magic are you trying to make through those experiences?
Well, I would say one, and is I would never call our immersions I would never use the word corporate, because we don't want to be anything even seen, because, I believe words are important, and corporate just has a certain image. Have you ever seen the movie Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory?
Absolutely.
Now, the first version, not the second version.
I've seen the one where the Oompa Loompas are orange, and they have all this beautiful scenery and water and color. Yes, that resonates with me.
So our immersions are a lot like that. I would say our company culture is a lot like that. Fun, magical Oompa Loompas. We actually have, Anne, a chief of fun and magic. The chief of staff, she's also the chief of staff fun and magic. And she actually makes Oompa Loompas appear at our immersions. Like that has actually happened. And
how come I haven't run into you before? My company is Executive Oasis International, and Oasis is a place of color, fun, growth in the midst of turbulence. So we definitely are trying to create the same type of experience. And I agree with you. Corporate can be, very definitely. So I'd love to talk with you and send over some information about how to add that magic.
I would love to receive that, and we can see where we can go from there. Thank you so much, Anne.
My pleasure.
And I love your energy. I love what you stand for in the world, and you do a beautiful job. So thank you.
How did I do as you, Sean Callaghan?
You did terrible.
What?
No, you did awesome. I'm just kidding. Come on. Fun energy opens listening. No, you did awesome. You were very fun and funny and channeling your inner me.
Yes, definitely. Because and I will say this, Anne, is people's mission is so important to Sean. Like just knowing what their actual mission is so important. So definitely hoping I could channel your inner heart.
So David gave me a bum steer with the word corporate. I have erased it. I just put unblinded immersion.
There you go.
Absolutely. No, thank you for that. So did beautiful, beautiful job. Let's go to the judges though, Steph. Who do we go to first?
Let's start with Max.
Max, what do you please have for Steve? 30 seconds of feedback, 15 seconds will work, 15 seconds will be optimized. Then a score on a scale of 1 to 10, a 1 being, oh my God, I'm running away, a 5 being, a 10 being, I'm not letting this dude out of my sight until we do business. What do you have?
So I'll start with Anne.
We're going to go flip-flop because we have 4 judges. We're going to flip-flop back and forth. So it's just going to be this one for Steve. Yes.
Steve, I'm sorry. Steve. I love Steve. I'm going to go with the 7 for Steve. Steve I could tell he's got a very creative brain, and he can think on the fly, and he has great questions. And I love how he's able to put things into perspective using either little anecdotes or, not metaphors, but, just different ways to put things into perspective so everybody could fully understand what's going on. I think that's great. And his curiosity is a huge strong point as well. I could tell he's definitely genuinely interested in what others have to say and what their intentions are and how to better come to an agreement or a collaborative effort of working together to achieve all that kind of stuff.
Thank you so much, Max.
Yeah, awesome. And Max, by the way, what do you think the biggest mistake people make in their digital marketing is? If you had just like one thing that's like, this is the thing, what would it be?
They don't listen to digital marketers. They think they can do everything themselves and they know everything. So one of the companies I work with is specific to the music industry. And a lot of the artists on our roster, we recommend certain things and they're just like, I don't need to do this. Like my audience is already big enough. I genuinely think the biggest mistake that people make with their digital marketing is they're not paying attention to exactly what their digital marketing team is saying. As music as another example, these artists have so many other things going on. You could put something on Facebook, you could put something on Instagram, but if things aren't aligned correctly with the right comments, with the right hashtags, what have you, the right kind of content, like an artist isn't going back and researching their content to see what kind of picture performs the best. That's part of what I do. Is I research all of their things. I'm like, listen, man, like you had a photo dump of your show in LA and that got you 112,000 likes versus your selfie you put out inside of your car that only got 52,000 likes. So it's all about them paying attention and listening and putting into action what we can recommend and have them do.
Nice. Well, thank you, Max, for that. Excellent.
Great insight.
Yeah, awesome. Steph, which way are we going?
Let's go with Albert. Your feedback for Anne.
Okay, Anne. So I loved your energy, your enthusiasm, and your excitement. I'm watching you on Zoom, but if this would have been a phone call, I could literally see, feel, and, just get the vibe of who you are coming over the phone. I love the way you did that. I thought it was fantastic. I love how you started out with a very quick pre-qualification in the first 20 to 30 seconds, got a little bit of information, did a very small close kind of quickly, and then you kind of went back, gave a little bit more of information about yourself. You built a lot of rapport, said you explained how both of your companies are the same, and I really appreciated that. I think that when we align ourselves with the client on the other side, they're definitely more apt to do business with us. And I think that that's what a lot of this business is about. So I would give you a 10 across the board. I thought it was wonderful.
Albert, excellent. And beautiful job. 10s are rarities on the Real Raw, so beautiful. Steph?
Thank you. I'm touched.
Beautiful.
So
Steph?
next, let's go. Thalia, are you there with us?
Talia.
Hi, I'm here. It's Talia. Hi, how are you?
Talia, sorry,
Yep,
I'm
here.
Talia. Your feedback, Steve.
Steve, I'm sorry. I was listening, but my phone was kind of cutting out of service. But I felt the energy and it was really good. But I feel bad. My service kind of cut out.
Did you hear Anne?
I heard you and Anne. And
Okay, so how about you give feedback for Anne, and then I'll go.
Yeah. So
Okay.
Talia,
So your 30 seconds of feedback for Anne.
Okay. Yes, I gave Anna a 10 out of 10. Her enthusiasm, excitement. She was really engaging, and you really wanted to do business with her because you just felt like she knew what she was talking about, and just great energy.
Awesome. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Great
Yeah.
job, Anne. 10 and 10.
Look at this. Anne's a rock star today. So
I think she had a good role player, channeling a good role player. I think that's
It's because of the role player. I agree.
amazing. So
Yeah.
Steph, who do we got?
Let's go with Mark. Your feedback for Steve.
Steve, I think you did a fantastic job. I think that you had the rapport there with Stephanie, and then that was very important. The way that you were matching her tonality, her speed in your speech, the way that you were coming across. I think that was great. Excuse me. I felt that you were also listening to a lot of what she was saying, and then incorporating things that she was saying into your replies, which I think was another thing that was great. I would definitely give it a solid 8. One thing that I
Nicely
think,
done, Steve.
Yeah.
Nicely done.
Yes, Steve. Great job. So Max, Albert, Talia, Mark, great feedback, and Steve, wonderful job. Steph, I think it's time for me to take a nap.
No, Sean, this is my nap time. You get this so confused every single time. You want to bail out. You want to go take a nap. This is my nap time. This is not fair. So
lay it on me.
yes. So guys, so this is the time to show, because like Sean, puts this show together. He has this incredible team that, all of you said you got these random phone calls that caused you to be here. And then he just gets to come on this show and look pretty and say some words. And then, he takes the rest of the day off. But I think today is we get to put Sean in the hot seat, just like Steve was in the hot seat, like Anne was in the hot seat. We get to put Sean in the hot seat where somebody here gets to come up with a scenario, yes, that Sean goes from hello to yes. And we like to do it random so that he can't prepare, because he's got bets out with people like Grant Cardone for $250,000 to go to charity that he can out-influence Grant Cardone on a neutral set of facts. And you know what? Grant Cardone won't even take the bet. And then what was the Wolf on Wall Street guy that didn't end up showing up either? What was his name, Sean?
Jordan Belfort.
Jordan Belfort. He wouldn't take the bet either. He had an opportunity to come and do it live with Sean and said he was going to show up and then no showed. So that's what it looks like. And we have gone just the other week, Sean role played. He was Muhammad Ali that role played with the Supreme Court, getting a yes from the Supreme Court. Kalia Ali, his daughter, said she felt like Sean actually channeled Muhammad Ali. Then he's done some, interesting things like role-playing President Trump, convincing President Biden on why he should build the wall, President Biden on why everybody should get vaccinated, why we should raise everybody's taxes. That was interesting. He even had to role play with a conservative, buttoned up 70-year-old New Jersey attorney on why he should go to Burning Man, and got that yes too. So all kinds of, and it could be like a meaningful yes. Just the other day it was asking Tesla. I am drawing a blank on his name too.
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk to invest $20 million in building a school for underprivileged children or underprivileged girls to empower girls. So it could be anything meaningful to you, or it can be any random scenario. So, Sean.
Yes.
How about you pick a number between 1 and 6?
I will go with number 1.
Number 1 would be Max. So Max, you get to set the scenario. You can take this on. You can set the scenario for Sean, or you can pass it to any one of your compadres here today. Do you have a scenario that comes to mind?
I do. It kind of plays into his wheelhouse, but I'm curious how he would approach it anyway.
Oh, I love when this happens. Okay.
Yeah, so it's 1980. You're the head coach of the U.S. men's Olympic team. You have to convince the Russians to concede and not even play the game. How do you do it?
Whoa.
Wow.
All right. So, Max, do you want to be the head coach of the Soviets, the Russians, or do you want somebody else to do that?
Let's have somebody else do that.
Okay. Who would you pick?
Let's do Mark.
All right, Mark, are you ready?
You've chosen me, and I know little to nothing about sports.
Perfect.
It's all good. Okay, so
let's do this.
Yeah, Coach Marksky.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm really grateful for conversation. Coach Brooks here from the U.S. And I know we only have about 3 minutes or so. But congratulations on being the most dominant hockey team, not only in the world, but in the history of the world. What your nation has done is absolutely remarkable. So I want to congratulate you.
Thank you very much for knowing this about Russian team. I appreciate it.
Can I ask, because I'm so impressed at the highest levels, what drives your program? What drives you? This dominance, what is underneath it? I like to think that we all do things for a purpose, for a why. What's your purpose? What's your why that causes your leadership to perform at such an unbelievable level?
For us to give glory to Mother Russia. It's the reason why that we do this. The way we do it, we have so much passion in what we do to give glory to our country.
Well, it is clear, and your certainty is present, Coach Marksky, for sure. May I share a couple of quick thoughts?
Absolutely. Please go ahead.
Yeah. And I know this is an impossibility in your heart and your mind. But when we are scheduled to play tomorrow night here in Lake Placid, what do you think would occur on the 1 in a million chance that we actually won the game, that the United States won the game? What would that mean to the Soviets, to yourself?
Well, it would be great embarrassment for us because we are the best.
Absolutely. And we're a bunch of college kids. So if I may share this, and this is going to sound completely crazy, and the likelihood of your even believing me is probably 0. But my purpose from the day I took this job, when all the other people in the U.S. Olympic Committee believed that we had no possibility of even being in this medal round, they believed that our goal was to not get embarrassed and to win a couple of games at the Olympics. And I prepared and set out with a singular purpose, and that was to win the gold medal and to defeat the Soviets, which was the only reason I took this job. It was that, an impossible task. And as you probably identified, we've created a whole variety of a new style of play that's a hybrid system between the Soviet system and other systems. And we lost to you at Madison Square Garden just a few weeks ago, 10-3. And what if I told you that part of that game and you're beating us that badly was all part of our plan? And so what I'm here to submit to you in this final moment is I have a document that is a complete non-disclosure and agreement. And there is a chance we would lose the game, right? And this is an amazing time for both of our nations, very complex. But what I would love to do is see this game not played and guarantee two things. One, that the United States wins the gold medal. And two, the Soviets and your team save face. Because I have a picture right behind me, that jersey. That's the jersey that will be created commemorating the greatest upset in history. There'll be movies made about it. There'll be documentaries on ESPN, and the entire world will talk about how this impossible feat and moment transpired. And I am sure I am offending you. I am sure you're burning inside right now. That is not my intention. But what I would love to do is make an agreement that the Soviets forfeit. You could say it's because you think the referees are going to cheat for the US. You could say anything you want about why the game will not be played, and I will have no disclosure about it. But I can assure you, Coach, with the absolute respect, that if we played 100 times, you would beat us 99. But on all that is holy on this planet, you will not beat us on our ice tomorrow night. That night is ours. And there's no possibility of any other outcome. And I don't mean to offend you, but the catastrophic consequences for your team and your nation are real. But I leave that with you. And again, I don't mean to offend you, sir, because you're the greatest hockey coach in the world with the greatest team in the world, but you haven't been preparing every single day of your life for this moment. And I have. You prepare to win games continuously, but not this game. So, Coach, again, I know that sounds disrespectful, but any thoughts?
I'm willing to take a look at some of the data that you have on this winnable game. So yes. I'm not saying no. I'm saying, yes, I'd like to speak more on this.
Great. Thank you, Coach. And we'll maybe convene for dinner tonight. Does that sound good?
Perfect. Vodka at your house.
Perfect. Out of roll? All right.
Out of roll.
So, Max, how did that feel? How do we do?
I thought it was really great. I kind of wanted to do something out of the realm of business just because, maybe it adds a little bit different of a level of difficulty. And I really enjoy seeing, I like taking situations and applying and things that I've learned and seen and applying it to other things as well. So I thought that was really great. The Russian accent was tremendous. Very well done.
Thank you.
But I thought, Sean, the way you speak, the passion really comes through. And I don't think it matters who you are on planet Earth. Everyone could resonate with the passion of a person and the way they speak and the way they deliver their message. It's very important when it comes to public speaking, tonality, the bounce of tonality. It was never just a level monotone situation where you were just asking him, hey, maybe you don't want to play tomorrow. So I thought the interaction was great, and I felt the passion, and I felt the desire, and I felt the confidence. I thought it was really interesting to watch and listen to.
No, thank you. And that was a beautiful scenario, Max. A lot of fun, quite challenging, quite interesting. And that's why we do the thing. So thank you, brother. Mark, phenomenal job with the accent, stepping in. How did you feel about that dynamic?
Thank you. I loved the way that you were communicating to me. The calm certainty was very convincing. Even knowing that this is a role play, even realizing that I'm actually not Russian, still you came across like, that you were certain about what you were saying, that you believed in what you were saying, and that you cared about my point of view, about what was going to happen, about what what was important to me, which was the pride of the team. And you aligned your outcomes with mine and made it a dance into a yes for you. So that was great. And it was also very comfortable for me as well. Thank you.
You did a beautiful job. A lot of fun, really. And Talia, just one more thought. How did that feel for you?
It was actually really good. I loved the Russian voice. You did a great job. I do feel like you jumped to the yes. Like I kind of would have been more curious as to like, okay, what kind of training have you been doing? Like I know you're saying you're training every day, but I guess going to dinner and talking about it more, that's definitely going to open up his mind to even more saying yes. But very convincing. And you did a great job. And I did love the tonality and everything you did and said was the nicest way to tell him to. I was just like, wow, this guy's so nice. Like, how could you not agree with him and think that, he knows what he's talking about?
Well, thank you, Talia. Steph, any thoughts? How'd that feel for you?
Your ability, and this is really what the superpower of influence is about, what Sean teaches and why, we have programs that teach the superpower of influence, is your ability to speak into the listening of others is extraordinary, because a lot of times I think people, when they are in, sales mode, it's about value can I bring, what value can I bring, before even understanding what that value is. That's why I love that you always ask, like, what is your mission? So you always understand what people's value is. And then you always speak into their listening, like Mark said, with, what's at stake for them, and speaking into that is absolutely extraordinary.
No. Well, thank you for that, Steph. Beautiful job. And this has been a beautiful energy, collectively awesome group of people. And congratulations on putting 2 10s on the board, 100% 10s for Ann. Beautiful job. And how was your experience with us today, Ann?
I loved it. And the reason I agreed to hop on was I watched one of your previous videos and everybody looked like they were having a blast. And I take improv classes and so on. I thought, oh, I got to be part of this. And, you were so warm and sincere and calm, Sean. I love this, and I hope I'll be invited back.
Oh, well, thank you. That's beautiful, Ann. Beautiful job. Steve, great job as well. Loved your congruence, your certainty. I could hear and feel the depth of your thinking as you're talking about gifts. You invoked curiosity, beautiful congruence. Thank you for being here. How was your experience?
Oh, it was fantastic. Unlike Ann, who plans and articulates so well, I just jumped in to see what it was like. And it's been a fantastic experience. I kept waiting for you to channel Rasputin, though, in your argument.
It is beautiful.
I was just thinking that would definitely get his attention if you would do something like this and, kind of pull it off. But no, seriously, your role play is a great example of what you teach, and this has been an honor to be part of it. I want to thank everybody for allowing me to be here.
Well, Steve, you did a beautiful job, and we're honored to have you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Albert,
Yes.
Great job. Appreciate you. How was your time with us here today in the Real Raw?
It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed actually the 3 role plays, yours, Sean, Steve's, and Ann. 3 completely different approaches, and all routes, take you to the same that same end. It seemed like so really just great to be a part of it. Loved being invited here, and hope to participate again in the future.
Awesome. Appreciate you, Albert. Max, thank you again for being here. Any final? I really also appreciate your insight on the challenge of digital marketing, people not seeing what they don't see and thinking they know it all. No diminishing of people, but yeah, like we don't see what we don't see. So thanks for sharing that. And any final?
I just want to point out it's awesome to meet so many other people from South Florida. I grew up in Coral Springs, so everything you guys are talking about, I'm like, yeah, it's my backyard. Awesome. Such a pleasure and honor to be here and speak with everybody and learn a little bit from everyone. one of my favorite things in the world is getting to know new people and, sharing experiences and meeting and enjoying. And it's been a lot of that. So thank you to every single person here. You're all fantastic. And I likewise hope to do it again soon. And thank you, Sean, for putting all this together, and Stephanie for, helping everything move along smoothly as well.
Yeah. Well, thank you, brother. Great job. Appreciate you. Mark, thank you for being here. Thank you for all that you do in the world. And if somebody's like, I don't know, like this Real Raw thing, should I go on? What would you share with them, Mark?
I would say, yeah, absolutely. It was a lot of fun. I had a great time enjoying it, being part of the show. This has absolutely been very, very cool, man. Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.
No, thank you. We've had more than 3,000 people on the Real Raw from its inception, and you've joined that incredible group of people, and you've all honored it at a huge level. Your energy was great, connection great, insights wonderful, presence terrific. And Talia, final, how was your experience?
It was phenomenal. Thank you so much for having me. It was great hearing everyone's perspectives and ways they got to yes. And it was very interesting. It was a great learning experience to meet all of you and be a part of this. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, thank you. And Stephanie, thank you for the magic you bring every day. Please, final.
It's hard work, but somebody's got to put up with you.
That is very true. Very true.
No, it really is an honor and a privilege to be here every day and to see you do what you do, Sean, because every day, sharing with someone on an onboarding call, what the superpower of influence is. And I was sharing, I've never really had a great relationship with my father. My father is a Vietnam vet, got some PTSD, kind of closed off. And, through learning this formula, I've been able to create a relationship with my dad. I got a Christmas card from him this year, like I've never gotten before. That was actually, heartfelt. It was connection. And that would have never happened if it wasn't for this formula and learning how to speak into the listening of others, learning about acknowledgement and validation and level 5 listening and love with boundaries and contrast and context and all of these things that go into what is the superpower of influence, and to be able to see you do the magic moment every day and even witness, Tony Robbins saying that there's no one that leads with more heart and more integrity. And so if leading in your life with heart, with integrity, looking to get more yeses in the world, download that guide that we put in the chat. Like, that's not there just for fun. Like, that is there. That is something that Sean put together for everyone, that has the formula, the 4 energies, the 4 steps, the 12 indispensable elements. And then you can hop on a strategy call with someone from our team, like ask them questions like, what does that look like? So definitely download that. And if this is the end of the road for us and, you're not like Anne and don't want to come back and hang out with us every single day, and this is the end, we'll send you like a box of like cookies or something. So thank you so much. And, Sean, it's just an honor